Today, we're breaking down every single detail and hidden Easter egg from episode 4 of the End of an Era series. This episode is packed with subtle messages, quiet shade toward Taylor's exes, deeply personal confessions about how she fell in love with Travis Kelce, behind-the-scenes rehearsal footage, and so much more. For Taylor and Travis fans, this episode feels like a gift. It gives us rare insight into her emotional journey, her healing, and the relationship that changed everything. For my international viewers who don't have access to Disney+, I've uploaded the full episodes on my Patreon so you can watch along and catch even more unseen Taylor moments. The link is in the description. Now, let's dive right into the episode. The episode opens with Taylor in the studio recording the Tortured Poets Department. She explains that this album was created during one of the most painful periods of her life, and it became her outlet for everything she was holding inside. As she talks, you can feel how heavy that time was for her. She opens up about how people often see her as a brand or a business instead of a real human being, especially the men she's dated. It's a subtle but powerful hint toward Joe Alwyn and Matty Healy, and how those relationships emotionally broke her down during the early stages of the Eras tour. We see raw footage from 2023 of Taylor recording those songs, and the sadness on her face is impossible to ignore. She admits that at that point in her life, she truly believed there was no one out there for her. That sense of loneliness feels devastating, especially knowing what comes next. The episode then jumps to the present, where Taylor is sitting in her stadium dressing room with her mom, Andrea, and her brother, Austin. She casually mentions that it used to be a football locker room, which leads Andrea into telling the story of how they first learned about Travis. Interestingly, Taylor's aunt had actually taken photos in front of Travis's locker before Taylor and Travis had even met. Andrea then explains that she saw the viral clip of Travis talking about Taylor on his podcast, where he mentioned trying to give her a friendship bracelet. Right away, Andrea called the aunt who had met Travis and asked what he was like in real life. Her aunt had nothing but good things to say, describing him as genuine, kind, and respectful. That was enough for Andrea to encourage Taylor to give him a chance. Andrea subtly shades Taylor's past relationships here, saying that maybe this time she needed to try something different. Taylor admits that she was deeply heartbroken at the time and terrified to open her heart again. But she did, and everyone in the room gets emotional talking about how that decision changed everything. Taylor says she quickly became obsessed with Travis and football, and it's clear how much joy that brought back into her life. Next, we see Taylor receiving flowers from Travis. We learn that he sent her bouquets so often that he eventually stopped signing the cards because everyone already knew who they were from. Taylor lights up every time she sees them. This moment makes the lyric "Thank you for the lovely bouquet" hit even harder, and now we finally understand why she repeats it so meaningfully in the life of a showgirl. The episode then shifts to a beautiful moment featuring Cam, one of Taylor's Eras tour dancers. He talks about wanting to perform choreography during Ready for It, even though it was originally an all-girls routine. He opens up about embracing his feminine side and how he's been criticized for it throughout his life. On the Eras tour, however, he's fully supported, celebrated, and encouraged to be unapologetically himself. We watch as both male and female dancers cheer him on during rehearsal. Taylor later explains that there are no boundaries on her tour when it comes to self-expression. Everyone is free to be exactly who they are. When Cam performs the choreography for Taylor, she's visibly thrilled and immediately approves it. The next scene shows Taylor rehearsing her surprise song set, and she looks absolutely adorable with little to no makeup on. She admits that the tour was the only thing that kept her going during her darkest moments. While people might assume the tour was exhausting, she says her personal life was what nearly broke her. The tour was the reason she got out of bed every day. She opens up about going through 2 breakups during the first half of the tour and how miserable she felt. She rehearses a mashup of hits Different and Welcome to New York, which feels like another subtle nod to her breakup with Joe Alwyn. She says that men may let you down, but the Eras tour never will. When she finishes, Andrea somehow links the songs back to Travis, even though they're clearly breakup songs. Taylor laughs in confusion, but admits that her mom is just happy she doesn't have to convince her to fall in love with someone who's actually good for her. It's another quiet jab at Taylor's exes. Then we reach one of the most talked about moments of the episode, Travis's Eras Tour debut. Taylor is shy and giggly talking about him, describing how he loves saying yes to new experiences. She explains the dramatic unstage skit where she's shot, collapses, and is brought back to life. She reveals that she'd imagined Travis being the one to carry her unstage for a long time but never wanted to pressure him until he brought it up himself. They rehearse the moment in Taylor's dressing room the same day as his appearance. Travis practices lifting her, trying to wake her up, and they can't stop laughing. Taylor admits it was the loudest rehearsal they'd ever had on the tour. The entire moment feels like an Easter egg of Travis saving her, symbolically pulling her out of the emotional darkness she'd been stuck in. We return briefly to Cam's journey, reinforcing how the Eras Tour is a safe space where everyone is celebrated. Then we move into Taylor rehearsing Espresso with Sabrina Carpenter. Taylor walks through every detail of the performance, and the excitement on Sabrina's face is priceless. She looks genuinely shocked that Taylor is singing her song right in front of her. They rehearse the entire moment, including Taylor calling Sabrina out on stage. Taylor jokingly imitates fans completely losing their minds, acting out how they'd refuse to believe Sabrina was actually there. They even laugh about the 100 Takeout Coffees lyric, with Sabrina admitting she didn't get the reference at first. The actual performance follows, and it's easily one of the most iconic moments of the Eras Tour. Seeing Taylor and Sabrina together feels magical. Then we watch Cam perform Ready for It. Live, fully in character, makeup on, owning the stage. The final section of the episode takes us to the Indianapolis show, which Travis attends. Taylor rides through the city, jokingly referencing her anti-hero music video when she sees a massive photo of herself on a building. Back in the dressing room, she texts Travis, telling him he can bring whoever he wants and sit with her family. She rehearses her surprise songs, The Prophecy and Maroon mashed up with Cowboy Like Me. Then comes one of the most emotional confessions of the episode. Taylor admits she was never able to balance her relationships and her career at the same time. Her past partners wanted her to slow down, stay home, and choose them over her passion. She tried to make both work, but it never did. Without directly naming anyone, she makes it clear that Travis is different. He would never ask her to stop touring or making music because he understands her world. He has his own stadium career, his own passion, and he supports hers completely. We then see Taylor watching the Chiefs game with her family, wearing her Chiefs shirt and cheering Travis on. She talks about how fans love him not just because he's a great player, but because of how genuinely and lovingly he treats her. After the show, Travis comes backstage to see her. She wipes her nose quickly before running over to him, and they share playful kisses as he calls her name. They laugh like kids, completely unfiltered and unapologetic. Taylor says it's the most meaningful relationship she's ever had. The episode ends with them hugging, walking off together, giggling, and waving goodbye to fans, completely in love, completely themselves.